In the small town of Gros, Morne, Haiti, nestled among lush green pastures and towering mountains, life thrived in harmony with nature. The village was a picture of tranquility, with farm animals grazing freely and villagers tending to their crops. During the rainy season, the heavens would open, showering the land with nourishing rain, allowing vegetation to flourish. But one year, the rains did not come. Under the relentless sun, the grass withered, trees stood bare, and the once thriving farm became a desolate expanse of cracked earth. Among the animals on the farm were 2 donkeys, a strong and loyal male named Ti-bwa, and a gentle yet spirited female named Douse. They loved their peaceful life, roaming the pasture and basking in the beauty of nature. But as days turned into weeks with no sign of rain, hunger gnawed at their bellies, and desperation set in. One day, Ti-bwa turned to Douse and said, "If the rain does not come soon, we may not survive. Perhaps we should seek guidance from the old woman of the pasture. She is wise and may know what to do." Douse agreed, and together they made their way to the old woman who had lived near the farm for as long as anyone could remember. Seeing their frail forms and sunken eyes, the old woman's heart ached. She pondered for a moment before offering them a choice. "I can grant you a gift," she said. "You may take human form until the dry season ends. This way you can find food and shelter without suffering. But remember, when the rain returns, so must you." Ti-bwa and Douse exchanged glances, their hunger outweighing any hesitation. "We accept," Ti-bwa said with determination. With a whisper of ancient words and a gust of wind, the transformation began. Ti-bwa found himself standing tall, a strong and handsome man, his body filled with newfound energy. Douse, now a strikingly beautiful woman, marveled at her delicate fingers and flowing hair. The world looked different through human eyes. Not long after, a farmer working in the fields caught sight of Douse. Her beauty was unlike any he had ever seen, and his heart swelled with admiration. Without hesitation, he approached her, introducing himself with an eager smile. The farmer, captivated, offered her a home, food, and companionship. Understanding that this was her best chance at survival, Douse accepted his proposal and became his wife. Meanwhile, Ti-bwa embraced his new life in the village. He found joy in simple pleasures, helping neighbors, shopping in the bustling market, and sharing laughter with those around him. In return for his kindness, the villagers provided him with meals and shelter. For the first time, he felt the warmth of human connection. Months passed, and the sky finally broke open with the long-awaited rain. The parched land drank deeply, and soon vibrant greenery returned. Life in Gros Morne flourished once more. Douse, now comfortable in her human life, spent her days preparing meals for her husband and listening to his stories of the land. Ti-bwa, however, found himself drawn back to the fields, playing with the village children and relishing the fresh scent of rain-soaked earth. One day, as he wandered through the market, he encountered the old woman of the pasture. "It is time," she said, her voice gentle yet firm. "You must return to your true form, and so must Douse." Realization struck Ti-bwa like a thunderclap. He had been so engrossed in his human life that he had nearly forgotten his promise. But where was Douse? He searched the village, calling out her name, until one evening he heard a familiar melody. The sweet hum drifted from a small house, stirring memories of their past. He followed the sound and peered through the window. There she was, contently preparing a meal. "Douse," he whispered, stepping inside. She turned, her eyes widening in surprise and joy. "Ti-bwa," she exclaimed. "It has been so long." "The rains have returned," he reminded her gently. "It is time for us to go back." Douse hesitated, glancing toward the kitchen where her husband awaited his dinner. A wave of sadness washed over her, for she had grown fond of her human life. Yet deep in her heart, she knew the truth. She was not meant to stay. With a heavy sigh, she nodded. "Yes, it is time." As she uttered the words, a powerful force swept through the room. The air crackled with magic, and in an instant, Douse and Ti-bwa returned to their original forms. The sound of clattering dishes echoed through the house as the farmer rushed in, alarmed by the commotion. But instead of his beloved wife, he found 2 donkeys standing amidst the overturned pots and scattered food. His heart pounded as he staggered back, confusion clouding his mind. Where's my wife?" he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. He searched the house, hoping to find an answer, but there was none. Outside, Ti-bwa and Douse took one last glance at the home they had known as humans before making their way back to the pasture. As they trotted through the fields, the farmer stood in the doorway staring after them, his mind racing with unanswered questions. He sat down, bewildered, replaying every moment he had spent with his wife, wondering if he had ever truly known her at all. As Ti-bwa and Douse returned to the pasture, their memories of human life quickly faded. The worries of the village, the farmer, and the life they had lived as people became nothing more than a distant dream. They settled back into the simple joy of grazing, roaming, and feeling the sun on their backs. Meanwhile, the farmer sat alone, staring at the empty space where his wife once stood. Years passed, but he never remarried. The more he thought about Douse, the more he realized he had never truly known her. He had been blinded by beauty, never asking where she came from or who she really was. And so, as he grew old and gray, he finally understood the brutal truth: marry in haste, regret in confusion. Looks will fade, but stupidity lasts forever.